We're going to talk about the Panasonic Lumix GH5 Mark II. Recently, I've been dialing my hands through different types of Panasonic Lumix cameras, and I think I first started with the Panasonic S1, which is a full frame camera, bigger, bulkier, and let's say a little powerful than this one. And currently, I'm having the GH5 Mark II. You get the original GH5, which is the OG. It was released in 2017, I guess, and then there is the GH5S. I'm not sure what the S stands for, maybe sports mode. This is the Lumix GH5 Mark II, and this happens to be an upgrade from the actual GH5. I'm not sure if it is an upgrade from the GH5S, but I think that is actually irrelevant, and that is not what we are here to talk about. So today I'm just going to talk about a few things that I actually like or love about this particular camera. There isn't anything unique, I may say, especially coming from the Lumix S1. I think the menu system, the video codecs, resolution, it's almost like the Panasonic S1. It's just some minor differences that you will really have to take your time in order to notice the differences. The first thing that I'm going to tap on, or the first thing that I will say that I love about this particular camera, will have to be the fact that it is very compact. Yeah, it is very portable, let me put it that way. It does not feel as bulky as the S1 or maybe S1H, any other full frame Panasonic. I'm sure this is even smaller than the S5. I stand to be corrected. If ever you own the S5, let me know as well. I think this is actually an advantage because when the camera is more compact, it actually gives you a lot of room to rig it up and get, a perfect setup for maybe a pro or paid work. Unlike having a camera which is very massive, bulky, and when you rig it up, it even becomes way bigger and heavier. Being someone that have actually done my hands on the S1, I do know what I'm talking about. The S1 is a gymming equipment. That thing is extremely heavy. I'm a fan of battery grips, but for the fact that the camera is actually heavier, I wasn't able to buy any battery grip for that particular camera. I don't even think is there any battery grip for S1? I'm not sure about that, but all I know is the Lumix S1 is way heavier than the GH5 Mark II. I've had multiple cameras with IBIS in there. I've had the EOS R, even the S1 also had a stabilization in there. But with this particular GH5 Mark II, it's on another level. I don't even know how to, but this should be very obvious because we do know Panasonic, the camera does have multiple or different types of codecs, resolutions, and all that in the camera. And I think I'm just going to go straight and then tell you what is actually happening here. So when you go into the camera, it gives you an option to shoot between MP4 and movie. So with the MP4, I think you do get minor codecs in there, but I'm still going to read it for you guys. So with the MP4, you do get 4K 10-bit at 100 megabit at 50 frames. And then you still get 4K at 8-bit at 25 frames. You still get 4K 10 bits at 25 frames, but with a lesser megabit. And then when you go down to full HD, you get 8 bits at 50 frames and also 8 bits at 25 frames. I haven't even gone to the movie aspect. So if I'm to go to the movie, I'm not sure if you guys can see it here. So it gives you two options. Let's go straight into movie now. And with the movie, that is where you do get some crazy amount of, there's a whole bunch of codecs loaded in this particular section. I'm sure you guys, this is never new, right? So going straight into it, and the first one that you do get, let me start from the beginning. Man, this is a lot. Okay, so the first one that you do get is 6K at 25 frames. Look at this camera that is telling me about 6K. It's more like Panasonic is actually lying to us, but they've been doing this for ages. It's just that I'm a newcomer in this game, which is why I'm a bit curious. So you do get 6K at 25 frames, and that is actually 420, and this is purposely for anamorphic, yeah. this is not an actual resolution, so you have to pair some glasses, I mean anamorphic glass, in order to achieve or shoot this type of resolution, because you have to squeeze and then de-squeeze, and you know all those anamorphic stories. Anyway, so going down to it, you do get 4K at 50 frames, that is 420, and then go down again, you still get 4K at another 50 frames, 420 at 8 bit, and then you still go down, you do get 4K 25p at 422, that is 10 bit. Like, there is a whole bunch of codecs loaded, but I'm just going to skip through because we're not going to finish this video today. So when you go down, you still get cinema 4K at 50 frames, but that is 420 at 10 bit. And then when you still go down, you still get cinema 4K at 50 frames, but that is 8 bit, and that is 420. The cinema for 4K still goes at 422, 4K 25p 10 bits. There is just a whole lot of non-stop resolution here to dial your hands into. Man, this is just, I don't know, because on a regular Canon camera or any other brand, if you need all this resolution, you definitely have to be paying a whole lot of amounts to get a camera with this sort of quality and resolution. Probably you're looking at the cinema lines, but with the Panasonic Lumix, it's just like they don't care. They're like, okay, no, just give it to them. It's fine. It's fine. Just give it to them. $1,005, it's all good. No, we will be fine. Like, they just go all in, and that is something that I love, because I don't seem to lack anytime I pick up this camera. There's a whole bunch of resolution, quality to shoot this, I mean, from this camera. All you need is to get some amazing glass, and then you should be fine to go. The button for recording, it's quite similar to the S1 that I had before, but I think it's worth mentioning. So here, when you guys check here, you can see a red dot, a red button, that is for the recording. And I kind of like it because it's actually gives you the feel, or it makes it easier for you to know that, no, this is a recording button. Even when you don't have any lights, or maybe you are shooting at night, you can easily tell that there is a button to press here. And it still have another button here, which I'm not sure if you can customize it for it to be a recording button, because coming from the S1, I did customize this button and it was a recording button. The reason why I actually love that is because when I'm shooting, like if this camera is there, I can easily press on that button whilst I'm seated here, and then I should be fine. I don't need to stand up, come all the way and press the back or press on top. So that is something that I think I actually love, only if it's customizable to be a recording button. And guys, if I have to go on and keep telling you guys a whole lot of things that I love about this camera, it will take us the whole day. But I just hope you do have time, and I just hope you enjoy it. And if you are, kindly hit on the subscribe button, like this video as well. It really helps me a lot. So getting straight into it, another thing that I actually love about this camera is, like, I love everything about it, but let's take it easy. So that will have to be the SD card slot. Like I said, I'm a Canon fanboy. I've used Canon for I don't know how many years, a whole bunch. I mean, if you guys can check on my channel, you will see a whole bunch of videos that I was actually dialing my hands on Canon cameras. So this particular camera does have two SD card slot, and that alone wins my heart. Okay, I've used cameras that actually use dual SD card, but most of the time you don't get straight dual SDs. It's either it uses one SD, one SQD, or just a single card, and that happens to be a problem. That is some of the major issues that I think I always experience. And normally when I'm going on a shoot, I don't prefer to have a single card, especially for a wedding gig. It's not ideal to have a camera that uses, I mean, just one of this. I need to have two. And this camera does not only use two of them, it also gives you the chance to record into both SD card. It also gives you the ability to decide whether you want to record into both SD card, or you want to record video on one SD and photo. Like, you just have a whole lot of rooms to do customizations here. And talking of customizations, it's not just about the memory card. This camera also gives you the chance to customize almost all the buttons on this particular camera. But I'm not sure about this particular one for recording here. That is why I actually said if it does, or if it is customizable, then I guess I'll be using this as my recording button. And guys, one more thing, I'm not here ranting or talking about this whole thing because Panasonic sent me this for a review. This is not one of those videos. This camera was actually bought, I mean, the money came from my bank account straight out of my pockets. It's not a sponsorship video. I mean, I think this will actually make sense. So this is the box of it. I bought this, not sponsored by Panasonic, not sponsored by Canon, not sponsored by anyone. Whatever that I say here is just based on my personal experience and personal thoughts. So let's just get that right. So another thing that I actually love about this particular camera is the fact that there are tons of lenses for Micro Four Third. Yeah, I do know that there's a whole lot of argument online, on internet, here on YouTube, Micro Four Third this, Micro Four Third that, but we should also understand that this particular camera does give you a whole lot of lens selections for you to, like, you do have tons of lenses to choose from. And currently I bought the cheapest one on the market, which is 14 to 45, I guess. Let me just double check. 14 to 45, and I think I'm quite happy with what I'm actually using right now, especially when it comes to such YouTube videos. I don't have any problems at all. I think I've shot a few videos on YouTube and I'm kind of okay with the type of result that I'm getting. I think this particular 14 to 45, I'm still going to make a video about it. So just stay tuned, subscribe, like, and you don't want to miss that. So the only thing that I dislike about this particular lens is the fact that it's not really good in low lights. But in here, there are tons of lighting, so I don't think I should have any problems. I mean, there's lights here, lights all over. I shouldn't have a problem. I can go dim, I can go way bright, medium bright, high bright. I mean, I shouldn't have any problems with lighting. And if you do have lighting, enough lighting in your space, then I think this lens will be beneficial for such videos. But let's not conclude now. Like I said, I'll be making an actual video about this particular lens as well. Another thing that I like about this lens, and the list still goes on, is the fact that this particular camera uses a full HDMI slot. You will not understand the frustration of having a tiny HDMI slot until you get one. I mean, these things break very easily. Like every minute they break. So having the full size is just hallelujah. It's just amen to that. I don't even wanna, let's just end this here. Maybe there might be part 2 because I will end up making this video 1 hour if I have to keep going on the things that I love about this particular camera. So maybe we should just jump straight into the disadvantages. And there isn't that much of things that I dislike about it for now, but maybe as time goes on I might pick up a lot of things that I dislike, and I'll definitely make a video about it as well. So once again, subscribe so you don't miss all my future videos. But there is a lot of things that I dislike about it, and the first one will have to be the autofocus. That is something that you guys do know that Panasonic is not good at, except for recently they've started their new phase detects. So with this particular systems which were running on the DFDs, their autofocus is quite bad. Well, I heard there is some ways around it, and I first got it, I actually started shooting at 24 frames using the, I think it's 25 frames, and I switched on the autofocus. And I think when I actually zoomed into the footage, you can see that it's still pausing like all the previous Panasonic. A lot of people used to complain about it, but a lot of people also says that if you switch to 50 frames and up, you don't get any issues, which I'm still going to make a video about the autofocus as well. But for now, what I've noticed is if you shoot in 25p and your autofocus is on, it's not going to be ideal. You'll be getting some pauses here and there. Another thing that I dislike about the camera will have to be the fact that it's a Micro Four Third sensor, which means it's not going to be as your regular full frame cameras like the EOS R5, R6 and all that. So here you'll be getting some crop anytime you are shooting. You'll be zoomed in and you need to use a speed booster. Like there's a whole lot of talks about this particular sensors, but at the same time I do think there is still a way around it. And if you really want to, improve or be a better filmmaker, I don't think the sensor size should bother you that much. But it's just personal preference once again. Other than that, I think I love majority of things that this camera provides. And like I said, if ever I manage or come across any funny things or any problems in future, this is the channel, it's not going anywhere. I'll definitely make a video about it. So do not forget, hit on the subscribe button, I've been saying this about 10 times, right? It sucks, huh? I'll stop it. I promise. Subscribe and like, and I will just subscribe, please. Subscribe so I won't say it again. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much. Thank you for passing by. Thank you for liking, subscribing. I really appreciate it very well. If you have any questions based on this particular Lumix or any other Lumix, S1, S5, S, GH5, S90, S whatever, list it in the comment section. I'm more than willing to answer all your questions. Thank you once again, and I guess I will see you in the next video. Stay safe. Peace.